Hello children, it's been a long time since we have met. Again back to our EVS class. So today we are going to start a new lesson in term 2. So you have to take the term 2 textbook, book number B. And the name of the chapter is Our Green Friends. I repeat, Our Green Friends. So from the name itself, did you get an idea of what we are going to discuss? How are plants appearing to us? They appear green in color. So we are going to speak about plants. So let us revise what you have learned in your previous classes. See the slide, children. You can see the structure of a plant, that is the different parts of a plant. Here you can see the leaf. The leaf is green in color. Then here is the fruit. Different colored fruits appear to us. Here it is red in color. So this is the fruit. Again you can see the flower. Now this is the stem. So stem is the part of the plant that you see above the ground. Now here you can see the root. So let us revise the parts of the plant once again. First we have the root. Where do we find the root? We find the root under the ground. Now again comes the stem. Stem is the part of the plant which we see above the ground. Now you can see the leaf. Leaf is green in color. Now here you can see the small branches of the plant, and on the branches we have the leaves. So leaves are green in color. Then here you can see the flower, and this is the fruit. So these are the main parts of a plant. Now I already told you that plants are our green friends. So we have learned about living things. Do you recall the characteristics of living things? Living things need food. All living things need food. Now which are the different examples for living things? We studied that plants, animals, human beings and birds are all examples. So in this lesson we are studying about plants. So plants are living things. So all living things need food. Why do they need food? They need food to grow. They need food to grow. Now where do we get food from? We get food from plants and animals. So in this lesson we are learning about plants. So we are going to discuss how we get food from plants. So we get food from plants. Now the plants also need food. So the plants grow with the help of air, soil and sunlight. So how do the plants grow? The plants grow with the help of air, soil and sunlight. Now I told you that plants also prepare food. At your home, who prepares food for you? Yes, your mummy will prepare food for you. Where does she prepare food? She prepares food in the kitchen, isn't it? So she uses different things to make the food items. So likewise, these plants prepare food and they give us food, shelter and clothes. So we get food, shelter and clothes from plants. How do we get shelter? We get shelter, even the animals, birds, they find shelter in plants, especially under the trees, on the branches of trees, etc. So we use different parts of the plant. We use the wood from the trees to make different things, isn't it? So likewise, we get lot of help from plants. Now they give us food and clothes. So we get cotton from cotton plant, etc. So, and I told you, plants prepare food. So they prepare food in a particular part, and this food is prepared in the leaves of the plant. So leaves prepare food, and hence leaves are called the kitchen of plants. So what are leaves called? Leaves are called the kitchen of the plants. Now for preparing food we need something. So here the plants make use of air, water and sunlight to make food. So how do plants make food? Plants make food by using air, water and sunlight. So do they make food in the daytime or at the night time? Yes, they make food in the daytime, because only in the daytime we have sunlight. So which are the different things that plants use for making food? They are air, water and sunlight. Now which is the kitchen of a plant? Yes, it is the leaves. Leaves are called the kitchen of plants. Do plants prepare food themselves? Yes, plants prepare their own food. Where do we get food from? We get food from plants and animals. Okay, there are different types of plants. Just go around your garden and observe the different types of plants that you see in your garden or in your courtyard or in your place. Okay, you might have seen different types of plants. Have you noticed the changes in the stem? We studied about the different parts of the plant, isn't it? So the plants are classified into different types based on their structure of the stem. Just tell me, where do you see the stem? Yes, you see the stem below the ground or above the ground? Yes, above the ground. Stem is above the ground. So based on the structure of the stem, they are classified into 5. Here you can see the first type of plant is herbs. The second one is shrubs. Third one is climbers. Then you have creepers. And the last one is trees. Have you come across the names of these plants? Let us repeat it once again. Herbs, shrubs, climbers, creepers and trees. Now let us see what are the differences between these different types of plants. So I told you that the plants are classified into different types based on which part of the plant? Based on the stem of the plant. So we can see the differences in the stem among these type of plants. So have a look on the slide. The first one is herbs. So the stem of the herbs, they are soft, thin and weak. So herbs have soft, thin and weak stem and they grow only for few months. So the herbs grow only for few months. And the examples for herbs are coriander, mint, spinach and tulsi. Do you know what is coriander? Coriander means malli. Now mint means pudina. Now spinach, you have learned about spinach. That is some leafy plant which we use for making curries. We can say jeera is an example. Now tulsi is a medicinal plant. So just observe these plants at your garden and see how their stems look like. So when you check these plants, you can see that they have soft, thin and weak stems. So these plants have soft, thin. So they don't have much thickness. They are very thin in nature and the stems are not strong but they are weak. Soft, thin and weak stems. And now how long do they grow? They grow only for few months. After few months they may die off. Now examples, let us repeat once again. Coriander, mint, spinach and tulsi. Out of this, tulsi is a medicinal plant which we use for making medicines. All others are used for cooking. Okay, now let us move on to shrubs. So shrubs, the spelling you have to learn. S-H-R-U-B-S. Now how is their stem? First let us discuss the example, then you can notice it. Okay, the examples for shrubs are rose plant, then hibiscus, cotton. So these three plants are few examples for shrubs. So if these plants are there in your garden, these two might be there, rose and hibiscus. They are known as ornamental plants. Ornamental means they are used for decorative purposes. When we see rose plant, we feel happy, isn't it? Our garden looks very beautiful when we have different color rose plants. So just to see the stem of the rose plant. How does the stem looks like? You can see that the stem of these plants are thin, but they are not soft like herbs. It is hard and woody. And this rose plant, it has got a number of branches. Haven't you seen? We can see a number of flowers in the branches. So the stem, we can say that the stems are thin but hard and woody. And it has got a number of branches. Now, unlike these herbs, they live for a longer life. We said that herbs live only for few months, but shrubs live for much more longer time. That is, they have long life, and in size also they appear much bigger than herbs. So they appear much bigger than herbs. So herbs are very small, shrubs are little more bigger than herbs. And the examples, just remember the examples: rose plant, hibiscus, and cotton plant. So we wear cotton clothes in summer time, isn't it? In all the times also we wear cotton clothes. Where do we get cotton from? We get cotton from cotton plant. So cotton plant is an example for shrub. Now rose and hibiscus, they are known as decorative plants or ornamental plants. They are also coming under the example of shrubs. So let us recall the points with respect to shrubs once again. They have thin, hard, woody stems, and they have a number of branches. They have long life, and they are slightly bigger than herbs. Examples are rose, hibiscus, and cotton. Now comes the third classification, that is climbers. So from the name itself you know that climbers. Climb means we have to get on the top of some place. So climbers. First we will say the example. I will show you the images of the example in the coming slides. Okay, it is there in your textbook also. Now see grapevine. Have you seen grapevine? Grapes? You can see in the picture, you can see in the textbook, you can see that they are climbing along. The grape plants are climbing along a particular point. Now second one is money plant. So money plant also you can see that they climb over another surface or on another stem, or they want support, so they climb over others. Now next is the pea plant. Pea plant, in Malayalam we say pyre. So all these are climbers. So taking the structure of stem, you can see that they have weak and thin stems. So like herbs, shrubs, climbers also have weak and thin stems. And for getting support only, they climb up. So they need support. They are not able to stand straight or stay themselves. So they need support. So in order to get support, what they do? They climb up upon other plants. So climbers climb upon other plants. Why? Because they need support. Now examples: grapevine, money plant, and pea plant. So these three are the examples for climbers. So climbers climb up other plants for getting support, and they also have thin and weak stems. Okay, now let us discuss about creepers. So see the spelling: C-R-E-E-P-E-R-S, creepers. Now you can see that in the case of creepers also they have weak and thin stems. So creepers also have weak and thin stems. So you can see that in all these cases they have weak and thin stems. Just recall, where do we find stem? Under the ground or above the ground? Yes, above the ground. Okay, now from the name itself you can see that creepers. What do you mean by creep? Creep means moving along the ground. Moving along the ground. So they creep on the ground. Now let us see the examples. Have you seen pumpkin? Where do you see pumpkin? On the ground or above the ground? You can see that pumpkins are appearing creeping on the ground. Now what about bottle gourd? Bottle gourd means kumbalanga. They also creep on the ground. Okay. Now comes watermelon. Watermelon also you can see that they are appearing on the ground itself. So these three, they are examples for creepers. Pumpkin. Pumpkin means matanga. Bottle gourd means kumbalanga. In some cases this bottle gourd appears above the ground also. They will hang from the other plants. Now next is watermelon. So these three plants, they appear as creepers. They creep along the ground. Now let us see the specialty of their stem, they have weak and thin stems and they creep on the ground. So here we saw 4 different classifications. Which are they? Herbs, shrubs, climbers and creepers. In all these cases you can see that they have weak and thin stems. Only in the case of shrubs they have soft. The nature of the stem are soft in nature. They are soft in nature. In the case of shrubs, the stems are hard, quite hard than herbs. Now herbs grow only for few months. Shrubs, climbers and creepers, they have more life and they are slightly bigger than herbs also. So we saw the different examples. The common specialty that we saw is that they have weak and thin stems. Climbers climb along other plants, whereas creepers creep on the ground. We also saw the different examples. Okay, now let us move on to the last classification, that is trees. So all of you might be familiar with different types of trees, isn't it? Tell me the names of some trees. Yes, coconut tree, mango tree, peepal tree, banyan tree. So many trees are there in and around our garden, isn't it? So let us discuss about the specialties of trees. So how do you see their stem? Is it above the ground or below the ground? It is above the ground. What is the nature of the stem? You can see that they are hard in nature, okay, hard in nature, and they have woody stems. So let us see the slide. Types of plants, trees. Now how do the trees appear? Are they short or are they tall? They are tall in nature. Most of the trees are tall in nature. Now are they weak? No, they are not weak, but they are strong. So all the trees are tall and strong plants. I repeat, trees are tall and strong plants. Now how do their stem appear? They have thin stems or thick stems? Yes, they have thick stems. Just notice the stems of these trees. You can see that they appear thick in nature. They are not thin, they are thick. And are they soft? They are not soft, they are hard and they are full of wood. So thick and woody stems. So all the trees have thick and woody stems. Woody means full of wood. It has got wood inside. So thick and woody stems, and that stems have got a particular name. The name is trunk, Trunks. So all the trees have thick and woody stems called trunks. Now see the case of a mango tree. Has it got only one branch or many branches? What about the case of a banyan tree? Has it got a number of branches? Yes. So all the trees have got a number of branches. Those stems have many branches. So we are speaking about the stem. So the stems of trees, they have many branches. Now in the case of herbs, they live for very short time. But in the case of trees, they live for many years. So if we plant a tree, if we plant a plant and the plant becomes a big tree, it can live for many years. Take the case of coconut tree. It has got about 100 years of life. So there are many types of trees present around. Jackfruit trees, there are mango tree, coconut tree. All these trees, they live for many years, and we can make use of the wood of these trees for making furnitures, even for construction purposes, etc. So why are we using it? Because they have thick woody stems. And what are the names of those stems? They are called trunks. Now let us see some examples for trees. First one, neem. Neem is a medicinal tree. Okay, it's a medicinal plant. The leaves are used for making medicines. It has got medicinal value, neem. In Malayalam we say Arivepu. Second one is mango tree. All of you know that what is mango tree, and we all like mangoes very much, isn't it? Now next is peepal tree, rubber tree and coconut tree. So these are all familiar to you. Neem, mango, peepal, rubber and coconut. These are examples for trees. Now This coconut tree is also known as Kalpa Vriksha. It has got another name and the name is Kalpa Vriksha. Why is it called so? You might have learned in Malayalam, because we are using all the parts of coconut tree for different purposes. We make use of coconut, we make use of the wood of the coconut tree for making furniture. We use the other part for firewood. So many uses are there for coconut tree. We can make oil from coconut. So many uses are there, and hence coconut tree is known as Kalpa Vriksha. So coconut tree is known as what? It is known as Kalpa Vriksha. Now tell me the examples for trees. Yes, mango tree, neem tree, peepal tree, rubber tree, etc. Now how do the stem of these trees appear? They are thick in nature, they are woody in nature, and then they have got a particular name. What is that? It is called trunks, and the stem has got a number of branches. Now what is the nature of trees? Are they short or tall? Yes, they are tall and they are strong. So they are tall and strong plants. So we discussed about different types of plants. Now let us see the images or examples for the different classifications of plants. The first picture, can you identify this? It was there in your textbook. This is coriander. For which type of plant does it come as an example? Yes, it comes as an example for herbs. So this is coriander and this is tulsi. Okay, now what about this? Which is this plant? It is the rose plant. Now this one, it is hibiscus. Hibiscus is also known as shoe flower. So these two plants come as examples for which type of plant? Yes, they come as examples for herbs or shrubs? Shrubs. So examples for shrubs, rose plant and hibiscus. Now third one, what do you see here? Yes, you can see grapes. So what is the name of this plant? It is known as grapevine. Now what about this? Yes, this is money plant. So these two come as examples for climbers, isn't it? So they are examples for climbers. You can see here the plant is climbing over other plants. Here this money plant also, it's climbing over here. So they are known as climbers. Now what do you see here? Yes, this is the pumpkin. Now this one is the bottle gourd. So these two are examples for creepers. See the shape of pumpkin and where it is on the ground. Creepers creep along the ground, whereas climbers climb over other plants. Okay, climbers climb over other plants and creepers creep along the ground. So this is bottle gourd and this is pumpkin. So they are examples for creepers. Now what is this? This is coconut tree. Now what about this one? This is mango tree. So coconut tree and mango tree, they are examples for trees. Okay, so we saw two examples each for the different types of plants. Let me ask you, can you recall the different types of plants? Yes, herbs, shrubs, climbers, creepers and trees. So we have completed the main concept of the lesson. Now let us see some fill in the blanks questions. So the first one, dash are called the kitchen of plant. What is the answer? Yes, leaves are called the kitchen of the plant. So the spelling of the leaves you have to learn. Second question, rose and hibiscus are called dash plants. Just recall, rose and hibiscus are called ornamental plants. Ornamental means decorative. So they are used for decorative purposes. Okay, now coming to the third question. Dash are the miniature of big trees grown in pots. Dash are the miniature. Miniature means small structure of big trees grown in pots. You can see that certain plants, certain trees, they can be made as small plants and it can be grown in pots. The name of that is bonsai. bonsai, B-O-N-S-A-I. So even banyan tree, they can be grown in pots. So many trees can be grown in pots in short nature. They don't appear tall, they are short in nature. Now fourth one, trees have thick woody stems called dash. So I told you the name of the stems of trees. What is that? It is called trunks. T-R-U-N-K-S, trunks. Now the last one, dash tree is known as kalpavriksha. Which is the answer? Yes, it is coconut tree. Coconut tree is known as the kalpavriksha. Now let us discuss the question answers. So there are 3 question answers in this lesson which you have to copy down in your notebook. First one, how do leaves prepare food for the plants? How do they prepare food for the plants? Just recall. Yes, they prepare food for the plants using 3 things. Which are the 3 things? Air, water and sunlight. I repeat, leaves prepare food for the plants with the help of air, water and sunlight. Now coming to the second question. What is the difference between a herb and a shrub? Give 2 examples each. Just recall, the answer is herbs are small plants with soft, thin and green stems. They live only for few months. Now examples are coriander, mint. Now what are shrubs? Shrubs are woody plants bigger than herbs. They have hard, thin, woody stems and many branches. They live for several years. Now, which are the examples? Rose and cotton plants. Now, the third question. What are climbers and creepers? Give 2 examples. Just recall. Climbers are plants having thin and weak stems. They need support to climb up. Example, grapevine, pea plant. Now what are creepers? Creepers are the plants having weak stems, but they creep on the ground. Example, pumpkin and watermelon. So there are 3 question answers. These 3 question answers you have to copy down in your EVS notebook and you have to write and study 5 times in your rough book. Okay. The fill in the blanks questions also can be copied down in your notebook and you have to learn the spellings. Now let us see what is the homework for today. So you have to read the textbook 5 times aloud, complete the notes, then write and study the question answers and learn the spellings of the following words. So I am giving some spellings which you have to write and study in your rough book. Which are they? Herbs, creepers, ornamental, trunks, shrubs, climbers, trees and bonsai. So these are the spellings which you have to write and study in your rough book. So today we discussed about chapter 6, our green friends. So we discussed about the different types of plants and their special characteristics based on their stems. And we also discussed about the different examples in each section. Okay, so that's all for today's EVS class. Please do your homework and see you again in the next class with the new lesson. Okay, thank you and bye-bye.